And hello, Daniel is joined now
Yes.
with me for the quarterfinals of the today's seasons and tournament of the Austrian Legacy League.
The top 8 have been announced. I think we can shortly go through who actually
Yeah,
went and got into top 8 before we can head into our match for the quarterfinals.
yeah. At the first place, we have Platz Jens.
Mm-hmm.
And Platz Jens is on which deck, Daniel?
Saga Storm.
Saga Storm with Entomb, with Echo of Eons. Really, really sweet. He's facing off against the 8th place,
Mm-hmm.
Jonas Baumfeind, on the new Eldrazi list that basically came up now with Modern Horizon 3.
So Eldrazi aggro, basically, right?
Basically. Then we have at third place,
Mm-hmm.
actually the matchup that we are watching today.
Yes.
Lamre Martin on Mystic Forge combo against Bernstein and Paul on Blue Black Scam, which is currently already ingoing. We will shortly be here for you. Yeah, we've seen already the first turn cycle being concluded. And we have a Mystic Forge, I think, on the battlefield. No Mystic Forge on the battlefield. This is the known cards in the hand of Martin Lamra because of the grief.
What about the other players for the top 8?
Then we have Schmidhuber Martin, Schmidhuber Marcus
Marcus, yeah.
on, again, Blue Black Scam against Dominik Repa,
Okay.
Slovakian player on Mono Red Stumpy.
Yeah.
Then on the 7th place we have Mitta Lena Michael on
I think it's 8 cast.
8 cast
Yes.
against Emil Pollack on Pucks.
Very cool and diverse deck. I think there's only there are 2 scam decks.
2 scam decks,
Yeah.
and I think only 2 decks with Psychic Frog in them. So complete change up to like the tournament we have yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. I think this is a cool change of things. And we see now Martin. Mystic Forge combo is something that we have not seen so far at all in this tournament, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And yeah, Paul Bensteiner here got a crucial reanimate on his grief because he got rid of the second Mystic Forge again. And yeah, it's a key card actually in any combo deck where the combo deck is named after one card. Mystic Forge is the engine
Yeah.
for the deck. It allows you to cast so many cards for a turn. I don't know if he plays a substitute kinda for his deck in the form of like a Boulder Citadel, but I don't think that he has the mana requirements for this one. No, it's completely colorless. Because the engine is usually Mystic Forge, the One Ring, Paradox engine, but the One Ring can kind of be like a Mystic Forge because with Paradox engine,
Yeah.
it's so easy to go for infinite.
It's cool to see a deck like this popping up again in Legacy.
Yeah.
And Vintage, this strategy is still often called a similar one like this Mud. This is one of the, also was named here from Martin, the deck. And a Glaring Flash Taker,
Flash Raker.
A new addition from Modern Horizons. Also, we see Kozilek's command that was cast by Martin already here. And a playset of Waxing Marble.
Yeah. Which is a key card actually in this matchup to counter like the Force of Wales, the Daces, and in the combo turns you just cycle your Vexing Bobble away,
Yeah.
or it's only 6 cards actually in the deck that are countered this way. Because it's only the Lotus Petals and the Mox Opals, and you're kind of fine with it if you get themselves countered, because you don't need the colored mana they provide, because like the Grim and the Basalt Monolith make the mana that you want.
Exactly. So we also see a manifold key here on the battlefield for or is it voltaic key? I think
It should be Voltaic key. It's the old artwork, because the Manifold key is the new one. He has a little bit of an extra tech, especially with any Urza Saga deck, because you can make the tokens unblockable, which is kind of good if you have like 8-9 artifacts running around.
Okay. Good thing for Martin, he has a 1 ring going and he still has a pretty healthy life total.
Yeah.
But animate that on a Traxa. So you had a situation last round on stream where the animate dead trigger was stifled.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to resolve the explanation how this ends up?
Yeah, but it only brought up additional questions.
So
Is it still an aura if it's
yeah, exactly.
but
Yes.
it's enchants still the card in the graveyard, am I right?
Exactly. The point is that if you stifle the animate dead trigger,
Yeah.
the card animate dead will stay on the battlefield,
Yeah.
and it enchants the creature in the graveyard.
So if you surgical dead, then it gets away.
Exactly.
Okay, this was exactly the thing that we thought in
Yeah.
the stream.
Yeah.
Because it's still an aura, but for a card or a creature card in the graveyard.
Yeah.
And yeah, we thought that it does exactly the thing that it does.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're happy that we got it right.
Atraxa now enter the battlefield pretty good for Paul.
But unfortunately, I think there is not a blue sorcery in there to support his Force of Will. But which is the second card that he got there? Is it a reanimate? I think it's a reanimate, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a reanimator.
For good measures, asking your opponent to cut
Yeah.
the randomized pile that you put under your deck. That is definitely for sure not get shuffled with any fetch land in the near future. And yeah, we will have to see. And we have to thank our Hanoverian guys in the chat for the invitation to the Legacy Team Trios. We may look into it and maybe you see us in Hanover, but this is no yes to it, but we have to see how every scheduling has to work out because like
Yeah.
Philip is engaged, I'm married, so we all have some requirements. Daniel is like nearly building house faces, but not for himself, but for his brother-in-law basically.
His sister-in-law.
Or sister-in-law.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's still a brother-in-law, am I right?
Yeah.
They are married. But yeah, but here we are now only in for the legacy, for the action. And yeah, it's crucial now that Martin is now a little bit handicapped with his lands. And the cool thing here is like this is a deck where Urza's Workshop actually can do something. It's worse than the workshop of his famous brother Mishra, but you are very, very easy to enable the Metalcraft because here it is enabled. But in this case, it will only tap for one because there's only one Urza land. But you have 4 Urza Saga to power it up and even the Urza's Cave. This is also a new card. Do you know what it does?
You can search for another land when you sacrifice it, yeah.
Yeah, and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So this is a card that can get you the Inventor's Fair to get back some life. It can get you another Urza's Workshop that can do also more mana than it does. Because on the next turn it taps for 2. If you have another Urza's Workshop out there. So really, really interesting. What Martin Lamar plays as a threat suit.
Yeah.
Or mana suit, basically. And yeah.
Do we have now Martin's turn? At the moment, he's thinking of what to do.
Yeah, it's like he has the Vexing Bauble. He drew a lot of cards now with the One Ring, but I don't think he saw any lands in there, which is kind of key. I think he has like 3 Glaring Freshrakers in there, 2 Vexing Baubles at least, and he's now deciding which cards to play because otherwise had to discard them. And yeah, getting the Vexing Bauble in just says force it or never force it again. And I think you just force it because
it depends if you want to keep the fetch card because the bubble doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah.
It's more only you can convert your force that you have, and if you're fine with removing your pitch card, then you can force it because Paul already has the Atraxa and a Grief. He only wants to attack.
And if he has, unfortunately, he does not have any other untapped black source, so he could Entomb reanimate again, maybe for an Archon of Cruelty, because this is directly 3 damage to the life of Martin Lamar. He can attack for like 9 this turn, which would put him onto 4 life, which means he's at 1 life with the One Ring on the next turn. You can maybe even Wasteland Duots's Workshop.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what Paul needs to do. The Wasteland is super strong. We know that Martin is stranded on life. He only wants to prevent that he can come back with something like chaining some rings together or something similar. So he has 1 turn left. I think Wastelanding here is pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll see what Paul decides to do. He has some options.
Yeah, the question is now, if you...
When in doubt, brainstorm it out.
That's true. Yeah, with brainstorming, you basically... There was a Psychic Frog in there, so he would have been able to surveil into Psychic Frog into play.
With Reanimate, yeah.
With Reanimate, yeah, exactly.
That doesn't really do anything.
It wouldn't be the broken play. It's still another threat for the next turn that allows
he has lethal on board.
For the next turn. That's true, that's true.
He don't need threats, he only needs to disrupt his opponent.
Yeah.
Therefore, exactly.
Yeah, Bowmasters.
Yeah, I don't think that Martin can have anything here. Yeah, I can draw 4 cards, of
Was
course.
there the ring trigger missed?
I think, yeah, we have to check this.
Daga. Right turn, judge. Pull a little read.
I mean, it probably doesn't matter because he's dead on board anyways, but still, to be correct.
Yeah, it would mean if he has to pass the turn, and he would have still the ring.
have it.
Yeah, we have it. Maybe they just didn't update it on the tablet.
Yeah. Okay, Urza Saga. Yeah. And draw 5 cards. Yeah.
Yeah, but he can't play. There are the lands.
Just when you don't need them.
Yeah,
you cannot use them anymore.
I mean, there can be still some possibility, but I don't think he has a Mox Opal or something like that. Because like with Mox Opal, he could chain like Grim Monoliths into maybe a Paradox Engine, into a 1-drop or a 0-drop, then you untap, and then everything is fine. But Mystic Forge getting stifled at the early turns with getting the Mystic Forges removed. So Paul Bernsteiner moving up 1-0 in this matchup. And do you think it will get better with the second game?
I think, yeah, Mystic Forge combo has a playset of Lilian of the Void in the sideboard that Martin definitely looks into bringing in. The rest is pretty much Wishboard for Karn. There's also a pair of Spatial Contortion. He could look into that as an extra removal spell against Grief, against maybe the Voidwalker or something like this, or potentially Frog, which is unlikely.
But I think the Spatial Contortion is exactly the card that you kind of want to have in this matchup. You're facing early game cards that really want to hit you. A card that usually is not that good actually against the Mystic Forge combo deck, but can sometimes be is Orcish Bowmasters.
Yeah.
Because you draw a lot of cards, but most of the time you draw the cards in the turn where you played the One Ring, so you have protection on Bowmaster doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
But with Spatial Contortion, if you do it on a later turn, you can kill the Bowmaster with it. You can kill a Grief or even a Doughty Voidwalker with it, so you really can slow down Paul a lot.
Yeah.
But Paul will for sure bring something in. I think it starts off with an N and maybe an Alrod, but there are no Nulrods in the board of Blue-Black's game of Paul Bernstein. Am I right?
No. What he has in his sideboard that looks good, I think, is maybe the Explosives and the Filigree Silex.
Yeah, exactly. Those are some cards that can definitely...
Also the Consign to Memory.
Yeah.
Is, a counter spell that comes in clutch. It counters any card out of Mystic Forge.
Yeah. You can even counter the one ring ability when they go off.
Yeah. And also the Force of Negation looks
Yeah.
very good. Harbinger of Disease, I'm not so convinced because there's a lot of artifact mana. Don't think it's...
How many lands are there actually? Because like for the Glaring Freshraker, you need the colorless, but you still get it with the monoliths. But you can kill an Urza Saga. There is a 4 in there, and I think it's only playing 17 lands or something like that. 18 lands, yeah, but you can kill the Urza Saga, but the Workshop, the Cave, and the rest of the lands still make 1 mana.
I just think it's so slow on the draw.
Yeah. So it's mostly engineered, Brazen Borrower, Filigree Silex, Force of Negation, and most likely combination of Orcish Bowmasters and Dotty White Walkers. Just to have another friend.
Maybe it depends on how much he wants in the deck after sideboarding for the Entomb package.
Yeah.
He anticipates probably ley lines.
Yeah.
From his opponent. Usually trim a little bit the Entomb package and go for a more direct punch game plan.
Yeah, it really depends if Martin Lamar. I'm not sure if it's called Martin Lamar or Lamar. We have to ask him how the name is actually pronounced.
True.
But yeah, I think it really shows if we see the ley line, maybe Paul Batchner still plays the Entomb package because he knows like ley line I can easily deal with my bounce spells, and maybe even if you expect some surgical, he says I have all the daisies, the forces to back it up, and especially if you think about it with Vexing Bauble, the only card that he can play is a Leyline of the Void against the graveyard.
But good start for Martin, both the Leyline and Vexing Bauble, helping very much to slow down Paul in deploying a threat. This buys Martin certainly a lot of time that he can build up his own mana and start going off.
Yeah, on the hand of Martin, we see another Waxing Bauble, and Paul Bernsteiner is playing, or is actually having the Brazen Borrower in hands.
Yeah.
He's inclined to bounce the Waxing Bauble in the near future, just to get it out and maybe force it on the back row when he has more information on what he needs. But yeah, here we have the Surveil Land, not getting any extra value because like everything gets exiled after it enters the battlefield. But yeah, just to have some selection in the near future.
Okay.
2 Brazen Borrow actually, a Force of Will, a Brainstorm. But yeah, we get the Surveil in here. It is allowed to stay on top.
And maybe thinking about it.
Yeah. Good card, stay on top. We kind of want to have you for the next round. Or the next turn.
He thinks about it. Yeah, he made it.
No need for selection. Everything is already perfect.
Yeah, he needs something going on for himself. It doesn't have too much time, he reckons, for sure. There's a Grim Monolith in play already. If Martin untaps, he has 5 mana available now.
Yeah.
Maybe even more.
I think we see this turn a bounce on the ley line, and then Entomb reanimate something big. This is good. Glaring Freshraker. And there we may even bounce something in response to counter it. Or we say it's completely okay because we can play something better afterwards.
The Freshraker resolves.
Yeah.
Trigger number 1. Trigger number 2.
Yeah.
Lose 1 life.
So it's now the small tedious ping plan
Yeah.
of the Glaring Freshraker. But as long as there is no card advantage engine on the board of Martin, everything is okay. But yeah, here we have another 3 mana. Do you maybe want to play another Waxing Bauble? You can even sack the Scion, play it, make another Scion, ping your opponent. That's also a neat action that some players forget. If you make a Nutsu Saga token, you also get to ping your opponent.
Yeah, it triggers the Flash Raker. Yeah,
because it says colorless
creature.
Yeah, and he makes exactly the play, I suppose. Using the Scion, don't use the Grim Monolith, because like you have to use up 3 mana and it doesn't make any sense if you don't have any big follow-up.
Now on the Leyline probably, yeah. What can you do? Okay. Gets bounced.
We can put a troll into play.
There's a reanimate and a grief in hand, a troll. I think was drawn for the turn.
Do you want to troll here? Just to get it into play. Because like
you want to close the game for sure, very fast. Likely, I don't know if grief is helping you.
Yeah, I think trolling here is the right thing to do.
I mean, probably it's the biggest threat that he has at this time.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if Martin would have had something like a Mystic Forge, he has 4 mana to play it.
Yep.
So it doesn't really make sense that he does not do it.
Yeah, there's...
That means like the grief isn't that impactful. You can get the grief with a pitch card, which a pitch cast into your graveyard. For next time we may even see a hard cast grief, if you think about it. But yeah, here we get the reanimate onto the troll. Now we have the 6/5 that beats him to death in the next 4 turns.
Yep.
We may even have another small 3/1 coming out to close it in 3.
He can of course not use the grief because of the bubble.
Yeah, but you still get from the reanimate the backside.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's basically all that you can do. And now we see most likely Mystic Forge in the combo.
Let's see. I think there was a Leyline and a non-Mystic Forge card in the hand.
I think it was actually Karn in the City of Traitors.
That was drawn now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he's missing exactly 1 mana to go Karn into Lattice this turn.
Let's see, 3 is 5, 6, 7 mana. Plus the key
is another 2.
It's another 2. So 8 mana.
At 9. The key untaps your Grim Monolith for 1 mana, and then the Grim Monolith
it's
makes
9. So yeah, it would be one mana short. But in the face of a troll on the battlefield, going for the Khan Lattice is not a good idea.
True.
It cannot attack.
But you get for this combo, you play out the Khan, you play out the Lattice, so you get 2 Scion tokens. You can triple block the Troll of Khazad-dûm and then go from the next turn.
This loses to a removal spell though.
You can't.
Yeah, you cannot cast it, sure.
But yeah, we will see. And this one is enough mana for Khan Lattice. No, it's enough. It would have been enough mana because the Khan makes 1 mana.
Yeah, with this key, it's even more than that then.
Yeah. The key now with casting makes 3 mana. How does it come? So yeah, 2 mana, 1 mana. Yeah. Now he's at 4 mana. Set the Karn. Get the Karn. Get the Lattice. Trigger. No. when it
Do you
makes
go for
mana,
it?
it
Yeah.
makes a lot of mana.
We'll go for the lattice. Martin is scared. He maybe chooses the ring for this turn.
I mean, ring is also okay.
But yeah, it should be pretty safe, right? You have the vaccine bubble. You should not be you cannot fear force.
It's only like a fatal push or something like that would be kind of problematic. This is the only thing that would have done anything here. But yeah, it doesn't matter. You can still go for the one ring, put in a speed bump, get a little bit more information, a little bit more of counts, and yeah, then win a few a few turns later on, most likely the next one. The reason why it's still going on is like there's only one mana available on the side of Paul. You can't bounce the vexing bauble. Yeah, it's just hard. I think Paul just wants to get more information about the decklist now from Martin Lamar, and yeah, in the near future, we'll just see game number 3. I mean, we don't know why Ring is still modern legal because, like, we are legacy guys, and I don't know how Ring interacts in the modern format. But in Ring, in Legacy, Ring is pretty much okay. There are only a few decks where Ring is really, really strong, and I think they are, just playing the one ring as a card advantage or a combo engine, and in control up the beanstalk is he really good. I mean, he can still attack, but I don't think Martin did take any damage. Am I right? But the Khan can take the damage, and now Khan is away, and yeah, you got rid of one issue, but yeah, the one ring still deals a lot of card advantage. And you always can attack your opponent with it. So if you think about which is a card in Legacy, like Flage still can Lightning Helix something, Archon of Cruelty still can make your opponent sacrifice a creature. So there is a lot of stuff that can be done actually with it. Archon can't. So whenever it attacks its target opponent. Okay. Yeah.
Looks pretty, yeah.
I mean, Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like we're in the waiting room for the
Mhm.
third round. For the third game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tamio can make a treasure token. Treasure. A clue token.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
I think Ragavan has to deal damage. Yeah. No? Whenever it attacks. But yeah, Ragavan is Bandit Legacy. Let's forget about the card. We're here just. And this is that thing where Orcish Bowmaster comes in. This is a turn where the One Ring.
It's in response to the
Yeah.
activation now, yeah.
But do you know what Martin now can do?
You can untap. Wait. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can untap the ring.
In response to the
Mhm.
Orcish Bowmasters, I would untap the ring twice and draw my 10 cards. And then he gets his 5 triggers. I have gotten 15 cards in my hand. And yeah.
Probably be in a good spot and to
Yeah.
close out the game somehow.
Yeah. So you definitely have to do this in response to the Orcish Bowmasters. Or you can just kill this thing. I mean, if you don't see the line in activating ring twice, it helps. But here is casting the kindred activation, the co-select command. I think here we get a counter spell here. Consign to memory on
Very
co-select's
good.
command, which dampens a lot of mana actually that Martin Lamar can have.
He has two mana floating, and there's one spawn
It still is.
and 2 lands, two
It's-
untap lands.
I'm not sure if he actually has played a land this turn, but I think the City of Traitor was already played on a previous turn. So you should have a
One
land still available.
A land drop is available, yeah.
So in the top, he would draw 5, then 6, and then 7 cards. So it would be 13, 18. In the top 18 cards, he must have another The One Ring or a Paradox Engine and a 0-drop. And I think he would just go infinite after that.
Yeah.
And just win there with the Glaring Flashbreaker. But the Glaring Flashbreaker can be killed off with the Orcish Bowmasters here. Because I think you will just shoot 3 times on the Glaring Flashbreaker and the rest into the face. But yeah, we'll see how Martin Lamar decides how he wants to proceed. And yeah, Paul is just waiting out the decision on Martin Lamar at this point. Yeah, it's
Okay. Let's resolve.
okay. Orcish Bowmaster still on the stack. Okay.
Okay, let's all the triggers resolve. Okay, he wants to ping. We could float the mana.
Okay, it's just floating 2 mana here.
Yeah.
Sure. So Paul Bernsteiner should have a 4/4. Yeah. Because like 1 trigger resolves.
2, 3.
And 1 entered the battlefield trigger and
The 2 got countered, right? Because he had 2 scions.
I'm not
2
sure
spawns.
where those. I think there was 1 pointed face, but I'm not sure.
Just 1 pointed face?
But yeah, I think there is still 4 mana floating. Yeah, there's still 4 mana floating on the side of Martin. So still 4 mana. Now we untap this one, make another 3 mana. We do this one again. So another 2 mana. So we are at 8 now. So we can cast the Paradox Engine. Then anything that is cast is basically game over now. So, but you still need a new the One Ring to live against the Orcish Bowmasters. Now you play this one, everything triggers, everything untaps, besides the lands, every artifact. And then we can see what they can do. It's so cool if you have like instance. I think Paradox Engine says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, untap all your non-land permanents.
It says when you cast a spell.
A spell.
Yeah.
So in Vintage, it's actually possible to activate your Senses Divining Top. In response, cast something like Ancestral Recall, untap it, and then activate it again. Or even more prominent, there is the Paradoxical Outcome. You can activate it, PO, target it, activate it, put everything away. Pretty cool. But yeah, here we are just in the Dice Factory, Mana Factory, making infinite.
Yeah, I'm just looking through how we can. He has to watch out for the Bowmaster. He needs a way to, go around with that. He needs another ring probably that he has protection from it. Then he can draw a lot more cards.
Yeah.
That's right now the issue.
Yeah, he can just play another Paradox Engine to make more mana. I think he has a. Does he have a Walking Ballista in the sideboard? Can you just clarify it?
Let's see. There should be one. Yeah, there's one.
So he has. He has another Paradox
enough mana.
Engine
He
in hand.
just goes for Karn plus Walking Ballista. He doesn't need to draw any extra cards.
Exactly.
And then he wins the game with fair and square with some damages from the Walking Ballista. Okay. It's 1-1 now. I think this was, quite a tough board state at the end now.
Yeah, the early game of Martin Lamar with the Vexing Bobber was really the thing that is able to stop a deck like Blue-Black Scam. Because you get rid of the early
and
grief,
don't forget
reanimate grief.
Don't forget the Leyline really bought him like 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah, that as well.
Paul needed to remove it first before getting a threat into play.
Yeah. I don't really look at Paul's way. Maybe he even put in extra cards for the third game, which can be expected, like Fairy Macabre, Surgical, or something like that. But he now knows for sure Leyland of the Void. But he for sure has the 3 Brazen Borrower basically in his deck.
Yes.
Because like you need it to bounce the One Ring or bounce a Paradox Engine or even the Mystic Forge to buy you a lot of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mystic Forge combo, all-time favorite. And this is actually the thing that hinders Blue-Black Scam in contrast to something that was like Esper Scam for a short period of time, but it was like too fragile with a mana base in the mirror. There you had Serenity in the board, and Serenity is a card that would fare really, really well against Mystic Forge. So there is actually some big downside if you have only a linear strategy with 2 mana colors.
Yeah, there's the option. Some lists play Null Rod in the sideboard, which would be like phenomenal against this deck.
Yeah.
So you could opt to choose this card. Paul doesn't have it in his list currently.
Yeah, we have the Engineered Explosives maybe for 2, which clears a lot of cards, but actually the 1-drop slot is also so important with all the key action with manifold and Voltaic key.
Yeah.
There is the 2-drop slot with the Grim Monoliths, the 3-drop slot with the bad Monoliths, Basalt Monolith. And yeah, on 0 you only have the Mox Opalent.
Yeah.
The Lotus Petal. It's not that great,
Exactly.
But yeah, it's the one drop slot, it's the shooter slot most of the time. Because like you can't get to 4 with 2 colors
To 4 what? To 4
because of Mystic Forge and Karn.
to 4 mana or to 4
Yeah,
lands or what? Okay.
For colors.
For colors.
You need to. No, there is no possible way, even though stealing something. This is something that you want to kill with the Filigree Silex. But even though these cards are really good, there is counter shut them both off.
Another Leyland start for Martin. It's pretty good.
3 pitching reanimates.
Good hand. Very good hand.
Oh,
But you
this one is hard. But it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
this
payoff,
card
yeah.
is easy.
But
It's the
you
hard-
smell a lot of construct tokens soon.
Yeah, the turn 1 Urza's Workshop into turn 1 Urza's Saga into Grim Monolith is so strong. And the big thing here is these are 3 Urza's lands. So the workshop can really do some stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see the workshop, we see the passing. We have the Force of Will now in hand. We've patched twice, maybe get a Psychic Frog action going.
This would be good right now if Paul gets to deploy a threat.
You need to put something in. Is it a Void Walker? It's okay. Is it a Psychic Frog? It's even better. But you need to put in a 2-drop here.
And he's looking to find one of his precious wastelands for sure.
Yeah.
There is the
it's
froggy,
Frog.
the froggy boy.
Yeah.
Froggy thing, rather.
The Frog Talk.
Yes.
I think here we just go with the Saga.
Oh, Paul actually has a wasteland in hand. So he can wasteland the first saga.
And the days here would also be kind of great.
But he has 1 mana floating now, right?
No?
But it's in Urza land.
Yeah, but this is only if you have.
This is a metal craft, right?
It's only a
I thought this was continuous, like.
No, it's not a post land. But yeah, now you have to just clear the workshop.
Yeah, I think the saga.
No,
The saga is better, I think.
but what does he get from it?
Construct tokens.
But he does not have 2 mana on the next turn. So you deny both construct tokens, but
the
they
first
get
one.
artifact.
The first one.
No, the second one too. You would deny both tokens.
Only not if Martin draws a land, I think.
I mean, he has Ancient Tomb in hand, but so you put only.
I think.
No, in this case he.
Getting the saga, I think, is correct.
In this case, yeah, it's correct. He has the Ancient Tomb in hand, therefore he would have been able to make both tokens.
Also, yeah, you want to prevent that Martin can search for an artifact with the saga.
And now you can search for another wasteland here on the side of Paul to get rid of the second saga, and then the game plan falls a little bit apart. We have the Force of Will if there is a big one coming, but we always have to fear the Vexing Bauble.
Yeah.
So many cards in the Excel already.
Exactly. What will be the play for Martin?
Yeah, the question is, Urza Saga is slow. Ancient Tomb costs you mana. Costs you life.
Yeah.
So I think it is just the saga just for the monolith. Now, Days is really bad.
So
I think it's just lazy and there is no interaction.
You mean for the why people discard first and the
Yeah.
attack with frog? It's at this point it doesn't matter, to be honest. There's nothing gonna be cast from Martin's side.
And here getting him a construct is actually a big deal.
Yeah,
Because you can't give
course.
your frog flying.
the constructs are a problem if Martin gets 1 or 2 going.
But I think we can bounce the Leyland on this turn. Maybe we get something into the graveyard because there's a Brazen Borrow in the hand of Paul Bernsteiner.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, frog still hits.
But maybe at this point you wanna bounce the constructs.
It could be.
If Martin decides to go, which looks like it at the moment,
Yeah.
go for something like this, then yeah, I would like to save the bounce spell for the construct and try to go all the way with the frog.
Yeah. And I think he'll be
Great draw from Paul.
Yeah.
We can waste the saga.
He first searches out if there is an.
He can just demand or force the action here by Martin deciding if he wants to create a token now or not. The frog is I think it's a 3/4 already.
The frog should be a 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
So we're attacking for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Him getting a card again. It's an animate dead. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should force the action on the wasteland pretty soon.
Yeah.
The question is now, what does he hit? But
Yeah.
most likely the Urza Saga
Yeah,
again.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have now the petty theft to bounce the construct.
Because the problem is with getting the Urza Saga resolved, he gets a Voltaic or Manifold Key, which is like a big mana source now together with the Grim Monolith. It's 5 mana, it's each turn 4. Yeah, it's a lot of mana each turn sack.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah. Do we see Entomb? Or do we have to reanimate? Not really.
No, I think there is no Entomb in the hand of Paul. There's only the Borra, the Force, a Swamp, and an Animate Dead, I think.
Yeah.
And
now we have the Paradox Engine. Do we counter it? Because Paradox Engine is a big problem, actually.
this tough. I would also say it's okay. Paradox Engine by itself is not a winning. It's only the engine and not the payoff at the moment. It's not the business spell. What can he do? He can generate lots of mana. Doesn't matter at this point. He would need something like the Mystic Forge.
Yeah. You need a Mystic Forge
or Karn,
the One Ring.
Or Karn, something like this.
Yeah, Karn is a card that enables it really, or is enabled by Paradox Engine really well, because you get mana of the Karn, you get mana of the next thing, and if it's the One Ring, you draw a card, maybe you get something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have.
Okay, if Martin attacks, then Paul can even. Okay, or not. No attack.
No. It has attacked. It got untapped with Paradox Engine.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And
I see.
Now we attack again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3/4.
If it blocks, you can pump it.
Yeah.
Pump it to make it even bigger.
Yeah.
The frog. You offer a jump block, basically.
Yeah. And this is the thing with frog is like really strong. But the thing is like, at some point you have to basically jump.
1, 2, 3. He has 5 card in hand, yeah. 8 damage. If he were to go all in, at this point he would not do it.
The thing is, I think it would go to 6 if it goes through, because it forces your opponent to jump every single turn, and he can still have force and blue card left.
Let's see. He can dump. I would not dump the Swamp because I would like to be able to cast the Brazen Borrower after bounce as the third land. You can dump the Animate Dead for sure.
Animate Dead and another card to keep force blue card. This is the thing they kind of want to.
He has Reanimate, I think, also.
Okay, yeah, just jumping now resolves the issue, and
then okay, it's another land.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, interesting. So we see, what will Martin do? He needs to find something. Can he activate the Inventor Sphere?
I think he needs 3.
4 mana. He needs 4 mana. He can do that now, at the end of turn, I think. Yeah, if he wants to do so. And he can search for an artifact. What would be a nice artifact? I don't think there is an...
It's Mystic Forge, the One Ring, or Vexing Bauble. Those are the cards that I expect him to search for.
I don't think Vexing Bauble.
And the thing here is, if you bounce the Paradox Engine, it's also not that bad. I mean, if it's... No, it's pretty hard. I think then he loses the blue card for the Force of Will.
No, I think you wait. For Paul's situation, you just wait what the opponent is doing.
Yeah, especially what he is searching for.
Yeah. Right now, the engine is not an issue.
No. But now he's got tapped down because he has only... the key thing here is he has only 3 mana left afterwards, because like you only have you only have 2 artifacts.
Yeah.
So the Mox Opal doesn't do anything. You don't have an untap for the monolith.
Right now?
No, if you bounce the Paradox Engine.
Okay.
This would be the high spicy draw, in my opinion. To bounce the Paradox Engine. But you can still force the Mystic Forge. And
let's see. Mystic Forge gets picked up. There is 4 mana currently available for Martin. If he casts, how much do you fear? Okay, yeah.
Ancient Tomb, below 2 mana. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
3, 4. Now you go for the Mystic Forge. This will quickly be Force of Will.
Mm-hmm.
This is a card that you are not allowed to let it resolve.
Exactly.
Which still untaps your Grim Monolith.
Mm-hmm. That's fine, but you cannot do anything with this amount of mana. Mm-hmm. Also the Mox, yeah. But what is left in
the One Ring? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And there it might be game over. Yeah.
Yeah. But
did he draw into a Mystic Forge? No Glaring Flash Raker. This can be game over now. He needs 2 bricks now from off top of the deck.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like, if one thing resolves, it's pretty much game over. So he's drawing 2, it's a Karn, so it's game over. Karn means game over. 100% sure. You get, alone of the Karn, you get 3 and 4, 7 cards to see. Yeah. You get Karn, you can get into Lattice, and I think then you still got enough mana to co-select command your Psychic Frog. That's how strong this fucking deck is.
Yeah, it's just only one card.
Yeah.
One business card.
And without Paradox Engine, it would not be that strong.
Yeah.
So we get the Karn, we untap a lot of stuff, and Paul Bernsteiner basically concedes. Yeah. Getting a good
very
hand.
Interesting, yeah. I think this
with a leyline.
Was definitely a cool match to watch.
Yeah.
I would have rooted for Paul, but of course, congrats to Martin to advancing to the semifinals now.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can have a look at how the other games played out.
Don't think we currently have any information about how the semifinals will look like. I think we have Philip coming shortly in for some information. fill us in about the other. We just saw, like, we rooted for the tempo guy to fight the big bad combo deck. Normally we say Blue Black Scam is the big bad deck of the format, but we rooted for our local hero Paul Bernsteiner, which unfortunately fell to.
Yeah, unfortunate, very unfortunate. Because if Paul wouldn't have lost here, we would have a full top 4 out of local guys.
Oh, really? So all the local
Yeah,
guys won?
all
Okay.
the other matches went to our local ones.
Okay. So we have Martin, Markus Schmidhuber and Jonas, right? Or what?
And Jonas won versus Jens Platt.
Okay.
Markus Schmidhuber won over Dominic Rapper. And Michael Mitterlehner won over Emil Pollack on Pucks.
Okay.
So basically, the two semifinals will be Jonas Bauernfeind versus Lammer. That's the
That's Mystic Force.
Mystic Force versus Eldrazi.
This
Glaring
actually
Fresh Raker Mirror.
sounds actually interesting
Yeah.
to watch. Yeah.
And then we have Markus Schmidhuber on Blue Black Scam versus Michael Mitterlehner on 8cast.
Yeah.
Also interesting.
So only one Blue Black Scam in our top 4.
We will just head into a short break and then we will be ready for the semifinals. So stay tuned for that.
See ya.